stuff. Yeah. What I'm going to do is show you what I've been up to in my allotment over the winter, trying to cope with the cold winter weather and lockdown, basically. Yeah. What I've done, if I could just show you here, over the winter, try to make use of the hut more to everybody that's got an allotment. We typically use it 8 months of the year. In 4 months, hey, we're not here. We're in a lucky situation here at this plot, this allotment, where we can utilise the shed. I call it my man shed. Yeah, I don't know if that's the right thing to say nowadays. It's maybe a person shed, but it's the shed. And I thought I'll start and try and do some woodwork. So here, as an example, I've created this clock here. This is just from wood that I found on Pollock Park. Yeah, I've taken to people. If you see people see me walking around the park, say, "Who's the weird guy with a saw under his arm?" Yeah, well, it's Dougie looking for bits of wood. So that's what I did. So that's really just wood that I bought from cut from branches of trees that I thought would be suitable in Pollock Park. The only thing I've purchased there is the clock mechanism, £6.50 maybe on eBay. And the studs, they're upholstery studs that I got in B&Q. Yeah, so quite a nice little thing. That was a nice little thing for me to make over the winter. This other piece here, I made that, and actually that sits in my mantelpiece at home. And that was a piece of timber, cut timber, I must confess. That was cut timber that I bought at B&Q for £10 and cut the different sizes, sanded it down, and again fitted the clock mechanism. And it does take pride of place in my little mantelpiece, you know.
So when you say you put the clock mechanism in, have you got a bit hollowed out at the back then?
Yes, Scott. I'll show you. Perhaps easier to show you spinning on this little one. Yeah. Basically, I've hollowed out at the back, and hey, that's just a hammer and chisel. Yeah, I'm not a carpenter. I must say, I'm not a carpenter, and that's just a hammer and chisel.
And how do you get the circular piece attached into the fork?
Again, I've drilled through and used a screw either side, and then I filled the hole with the wood filler and sanded just to finish. Yeah, quite amateurish, but effective for me. Yeah.
I think on allotments, everything that everybody does is amateurish to a degree, and it's certainly a lot better than most people could pull off.
Yeah. One of the other things, as well as the clocks, I'm just staining this one. Again, this was a log that I got from Pollock Park and cut it. I use hand saws. So, but when I cut this one, I sanded it and varnished it, but there was some blackness coming through, which I'm presuming, again, I don't know, was some perhaps residual damp in the wood, and it appeared. So what I've done is I've sanded it down again, and I've put a dark brown stain on it, and hopefully that it just gives it a different look. Yeah. One of the other things I do is I build these little bird feeding tables. Yeah. It's fun. Hey, I buy the timber from B&Q. Hey, and I suppose what I'd really like to do actually is start looking for old bits of wood. You know, I'm one for looking in a skip to see what's there, you know, building from old pallets. So I build the little bird feeding stations just for my own pleasure.
And just for the interest of anybody who's watching this, you say you're not a carpenter, so is this just quite easy to do with hammering together with nails and screws?
Yeah, it's nails, it's screws, that's it. Nails, screws, it's a handsaw. I've got a little plastic angle cutter that you get from B&Q, I think for £6 or something. So you can cut it 45 degrees or 60. Right. Hey, it's basic. It's basic, but it works. And the other thing I do is I've got little stencils. So I'm going to put a stencil on here. A little bird motif or something. Nice. Yeah. That's really that. And finally, I'm going to look in this corner here. Hidden away is a couple of staffs. Now these are fun, yeah? I actually walk in the park with this one. Yeah, it's just a piece of wood. I've got a little hand rasp. In fact, I'll show you here. A little hand rasp. That's the degree of my tools. And I may sit here for a couple of hours just whiling away the time. But it works. Yeah. So what I've created again, it's just a walking staff for the park. Yeah. But thinking out the box and inspired by old Gandalf the wizard, I thought I would try something different. So you can see here, I've made this thing. Will I ever use it walking in the park? I don't know, But anyway, and again, I got a stencil, and I marked it all out, a thistle, and I used a little Dremel cutter to cut out the thing, and again, stained it finish coat. So fun things.
The amount of hand work that you must have done on that to get it.
Yeah, that took some time with a little Dremel, and it's the first time I've used a Dremel tool. So that was a little treat for me at Christmas. I bought myself a little Dremel toolkit again from B&Q. I must be the man at B&Q, I keep saying B&Q. There are other DIY outlets out there, but I go to B&Q and make it like so. So things to do around the plot. Made this little workbench. Yeah, you may see that there's hinges along the back. So it's like a little drop leaf table. But hey, I sit a potter away. Another thing I've done just from wood that I've cut in the park. I'm going to put a couple of wooden pegs here. I'm going to peg it to there. And I'll maybe put a little inscription in there. Something. It's a first. So, hey.
Something ornamental.
Something ornamental. It passes the time. Scott. So that's what I do in my little plot. Yeah? Yeah. I've created some shelving, seating. Yeah.
Well, you made the seating yourself as well?
Made the seating myself, yeah. And the storage underneath for my wood. I keep my timber underneath, my cushions from outside seating. So it's all fun.
If you were going to make seating like this, have you got to think about internal structure? Like, what do you have behind here to hold this all up?
Yeah, well, it's going all ways, but there is some internal structure, yeah. But really, I've just put a batten around at a certain height around, Scott, and then the timbers, and then maybe some cross sections, so that I'm not going to sit on it and fall through, But that was fine. I did that again over the winter, looking for something to do. My wife encourages me to leave home. I don't know why she encourages me to leave home, but every day I come down here and I potter about, And as I say, I can imagine lockdowns. It must have been difficult for everybody, Whereas sometimes people are just crammed together when they're normally up in the morning. You both go and do your different thing, and then you sit together in the evening. You get something to talk about your day. So my wife said, "What did you make today?" Yeah, so it's like looking through the square window. Yeah, fun.
Nice.
So that's what I did over the winter.
Fab. Thanks very much for showing us around.
Listen, it's a pleasure. Anybody that's watching, I hope you enjoyed it. Get some inspiration from it. And you're not laughing at the stupid old man making silly things,
Absolutely not.
Thanks very much. Bye.